Pat here, and I'm gonna be ranking the DCEU movies. I love the DCEU. Like, yeah, it's not the greatest. Like, there's a few crap shows, but yeah, it's way better than the MCU. And the DCEU fan base is not as toxic or as cancerous as the MCU fan base. It's probably one of the reasons why I hate the MCU fan base, or the MCU itself, I should say. But anyways, here are my ranking of the DCEU movies. I almost said DC. And number 7 is Shazam.
What are your superpowers?
Superpowers, dude? I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
This is proof of authenticity. Super strength. Electricity manipulation. Hyperspeed.
I'd like to purchase some of your finest beer, please.
This movie really just didn't click with me. And not because it felt too much of a Marvel movie, because it somewhat did, but it was more felt like a forgettable family movie. Like, it cracked way too many jokes. It didn't have any serious, like, heart-to-heart moments. And it was just not my thing. Yeah, you can see right there that white. Am I pointing to it right? No, fuck. Right there is Shazam. But I only bought it because it's DC. Like, soon I want to make a Birds of Prey movie. Not movie. Predictions on the movie. And I'm still going to buy it because it's the DCEU. But still, I'm probably not going to enjoy that one either. But that's for another video. This one is like, I just don't know. I was highly disappointed because I was so excited for the trailers. When I saw the trailers, I mean, and this movie was a huge letdown in 2019. They say that this family has a lot of heart. Really, it doesn't. Like, it has a little girl. She's always like big brother and all that, but it's like I never really felt like any emotion, like, oh, like Billy told her straight. Like, it didn't click with me. Like, I was just like, people overrated it. It's not really that good. It's decent, it's okay, but it's like people just like say it was the best one. Really, it's not. And the Shazam family's in it, and at first I thought, for Justice League 2, if they're gonna do Shazam, they're gonna do his whole family, which is gonna become more of a Avengers Marvel thing, in which we definitely don't want to go there. But anyways, but the thing is, the Shazam family, oh shit, I almost dropped my camera. The Shazam family really doesn't do anything to the story. Like, they're there, but that's it. They mostly just make video game jokes, references that no one really cares about, and it's just, they have a hard time when really it's not really a hard time. Like, there's one scene where Lady Shazam marries Shazam. Yeah, I'm gonna get called a fake DC fan a lot in the comments now, but anyways, and she is fighting a demon, like one of the 7 deadly sins, while earlier Billy Batson, or was it Billy Batson? No, it was the guy with the blue, I forget the name. I really don't care much. I don't really care much for the Shazam family, but really, the blue Shazam punches the demon, and so to Mary Shazam, Miss Mary Shazam, whatever the fuck her name is, wouldn't that be like not a problem? And the thing is that that sin uses his tongue to fight her, and I'm just over there like, yeah, that's not a start to hentai. There's another part where the green Shazam is trying his hardest to lift the Ferris wheel up, and I'm just like, there's legit no one on the Ferris wheel. Like, the camera shows it, and it's no one. There's no one there. So why are you lifting it? And there's only the 2 bullies, but maybe they deserve to die. Mostly because they pick on a handicapped kid, they spit on a baby, and all of it to them is a game is fun and games. So maybe they deserve to die. Should let them dropped. Anyways, it kind of pisses me off that they're making a Shazam 2, while there's other great DC movies that are not getting a sequel, which I'll come to that eventually. Anyways, yeah, Shazam has a very low 3 out of 5 stars for me. It's not really. It's if you're a DC fan, it depends because if you're a DC fan, you might like it. I didn't like it. It's really hard to put this where people might like it at. And at number 6 place is Suicide Squad.
I want to assemble a task force of the most dangerous people on the planet.
They're bad guys.
Worst of the worst.
My time has come. Send shivers down my spine.
Was this cheerleading trials?
All the time.
This movie was supposed to be the biggest DC movie ever, but really it turned out to be one of the weakest. It wasn't bad, but also wasn't good. Actually, it was pretty bad, but overall I think everything adds up. It was pretty good. I wouldn't rewatch it, but if someone around me wanted to, I think I would put it on and still just watch it. It's just like first off, they did Suicide Squad wrong. Like the advertisement shows that it was very bright and was trying to do what Shazam did. Well, it was trying to do what not Shazam but Aquaman did, have bright and dark mixing together, which kind of failed to be honest, because the Suicide Squad is pure dark. They in the anime movies they kill each other. In this one, they barely did anything. This movie should have been rated R. Because one scene Slipknot gets his head blown off. They should have showed the blood and gore in that one, but they didn't. So where did his head go? It just disappeared, and you just see a body with no blood, and it just makes no sense. And that kind of what fuss pisses me off. I can't say that word. And another reason why is some casting is done good, like Deadshot and Harley Quinn, but other casting is very poor, like Killer Croc. Evidently they tried to do Killer Croc with makeup and all that, but it fails badly in my opinion, mostly because Killer Croc has always been a huge character. Like he's been a giant, and the reason why they put Killer Croc in it because if it wasn't him, it would have been King Shark, and they would have had CGI, which they didn't want, so they did it with Killer Croc for makeup. But if you want to do Killer Croc right, you have to do CGI anyway. So what was the point? It's fucking pointless. But then the thing is that they try to keep his human side with him. Like you can tell that he's human, and they try to make the birth defect of it really there. But it just ends up not even looking like a crocodile. He just looks like a pile of shit walking around and talking. Like that's what he looks like. Killer poop. And it was an epic fail for Killer Croc, honestly. And that's probably one of the characters. Like, one of the people complaining that was Joker. I didn't think Leto was good. I didn't think he was bad. I think he was just, like, he tried. What are you gonna do? You know, he tried. Another thing was, the soundtrack. Like, there's good songs in here. Like, I'm a metalhead, so I enjoyed Queen. But there's other like rap songs and hip hop that are like music, what they appear at the most random times, which was really annoying and just bothered the hell out of me and gave me headaches. Like one scene where Harley Quinn fights in the elevator and he's had the song bum 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 bum. I'm just over here like, shut the fuck up. Like, who called you? No one did. Doesn't even match. But I do have to give it A because the fight choreography was really good on that one. And another thing is some of the scenes don't mix. Like, again, the Slipknot, like, was he a mannequin? That's why when his head exploded, there was no blood. Like it was just a body. And then there's another one where Captain Boomerang was introduced to the team by bringing a duffel bag, and it's like, why was he stuffed in a duffel bag? Like honestly, and how'd you get in the duffel bag? Like, was like one of the police officers were like, we ran out of chairs, let's just stuff them in a duffel bag. Makes no sense whatsoever, and it bothered me because they just push off like it's nothing. And coming in 5th place is Justice League.
What are your superpowers again?
I'm rich.
One thing I can tell you is you got to be free.
My turn.
Come together. Right now. Come together. Right now.
God, this movie. I don't see how this movie is a project, a prodigy of how a studio messed it up so badly. Like, if you follow the DC Universe for Life page on Facebook, and then I'm pretty sure I kept up with to date with the Snyder Cut, and it seems way better than this. I think even Zack Snyder has seen just now recently, I think a few days ago, seen the theatrical cut of Justice League, and he cried because it was honestly WB and Josh Whedon destroyed it of what Zack Snyder worked on. And Zack Snyder casted the entire Justice League, and they're all great casting choices. Like, I like Eliza Miller as Flash. I like Ray Fisher as Cyborg. Everyone's great. It's just the storyline's not so great. There's scenes where it's just dumb, like the Aquaman fight scene. Like, why do they have to need to have a air bubble when they're Atlanteans? They could talk underwater. Another one is designed for Steppenwolf. He just looks like a normal guy. Like, in the Snyder Cut, he actually looked like a monster from planet Apocalypse, a hellish planet. This one, Steppenwolf looked like he came from generic planet. I was trying to come up with a pun to mix Apocalypse and generic clips, yeah. But anyway, it's just like, it's so bad, and like, I can't even explain. Like, I'll put a link down in the description that'll tell everything about the Snyder Cut. But I'm a loss of words because I was really hoping for this movie to be great, and it wasn't. And when Zack Snyder walked out, WB said, "Hey, let's get the guy who messed up Avengers and made Avengers crap. Let's get that guy." And yet Joss Whedon is kind of a bad director. He's a bad storyteller because Zack Snyder had all these moments, these uprising superhero moments, where Joss Whedon kind of just replaced him with jokes that are really not that funny. And when Joss Whedon was working on a DC movie back in 2005, it was Wonder Woman, and it wasn't even about Wonder Woman. It's more like about Steve Trevor. And even in that movie, Trevor calls Wonder Woman a bitch. So Warner Bros., why do you do these stupid decisions? Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Hashtag fuck WB. And it's just like, I just never seen a movie that had so much going for it. Even in the little clip I just showed you, had some parts of the Snyder Cut in it, but yet never used because WB just never wanted to use it. And it's sad, but we just gotta keep storming WB to release the Snyder Cut. The next 4 films I honestly love. I think they're the best of the DCEU, and they outshine the three crappy ones. And number 4th is Wonder Woman. This is honestly a great film. It's just the only thing that really put it down for me as one of the weakest great films of DCEU is the reveal of Ares. Like, if you paid attention throughout the movie, you could tell that the leader of the British intelligence, like that, the governor or whatever the hell he is, you could honestly tell the way he talks. Well, not with the way he talks, but what he says. You can honestly tell it's a dead end that it's Ares.
You're him.
I am.
And for all confession, at first I didn't like the actor who played Ares. I thought he was kind of too weak, and he was just like the guy, like, I just didn't find really a mean guy. But the more I kept watching Wonder Woman, the more he kind of grew on me, and I was like, yeah, that's a pretty badass Ares. Because when I first, like, was young and I started loving DC is when the first Injustice game come out back in 2003, and so that's the Ares I knew from DC Comics. Like, I always knew the one from Greek mythology, but I'm saying, like, that's the Ares, like, from DC that I knew, and all of a sudden you have this guy playing it. I'm just like, what the hell? But over time, he grew on me. Now, I actually enjoy his performance as Ares. And in 3rd place is Man of Steel.
You just have to decide what kind of man you want to grow up to be, Clark. Whoever that man is, he's going to change the world.
This was honestly a great film. Like, it's kind of hard for me to put it on 3, but the other 2 are just amazing. I think Man of Steel is very underrated, and I don't know why a lot of people hated it. Like, it showed the origin of Superman, and it was honestly one of the best told origins. And it really got me into Superman because for the most part, I was into Batman. But then after I watched Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, I actually bought a bunch of Superman posters and all that, and I started really getting into the animated movies, like the 80th Superman animated movie collection. And honestly, this is part of the reason why these are one of the movies that made me want to create a channel to talk about movies, mostly because I honestly just enjoy this film a lot. And one of the highlights of the movie is the villain. Zod is just amazing. Henry Cavill as Superman is amazing. And the CGI in Man of Steel is just better than any movie I've ever seen before. Even though the MCU fanboys, like, their movies have terrible CGI, like in Infinity War where it made them look like bobbleheads, the one scene where Zod has this spaceship lifting water up from the gravity and slamming it down, the water and everything looked like it was actually there. And even though the MCU fanboys would be like, oh, it's alright, like, they're just stuck up bitches, honestly. And in second place is Aquaman.
Permission to come aboard.
I've been looking for you. Your half-brother, King Orm, is about to declare war upon the surface world.
The only way to stop this war is for you to take your rightful place as king.
Trust me, I am no king.
You do your best thinking.
When they announced this movie 2 years ago, not 2 years from now, but 2 years from 2018, their initial release date for Aquaman, I just honestly couldn't wait. Like, it seemed forever, and this movie was well worth the wait. I love Aquaman in comics mostly because the art is amazing. Like, it's very environmental with the background, and it's super badass. Like, sorry, I just stuttered at first. And in the movie, it definitely takes that, because this movie's super. The atmosphere in this movie is outright awesome. Like, it's super badass. And Patrick Wilson is one of my top 10 favorite actors of all time, and he plays an amazing King Orm. And the new actor who plays Black Manta was also amazing. Amber Heard as Miria is also amazing, and Jason Momoa was of course badass as Aquaman. At first, I didn't like him as Aquaman because I was like, he should have the blonde hair. But when I saw Justice League and Aquaman, like, I absolutely love his Aquaman. Like, he's one of the best, mostly because he's the only one. But yeah, if you have a chance, just watch this. It's an amazing DC movie. And coming at number 1 is Batman v Superman.
Civil liberties are being trampled on in your city. People living in fear. He thinks he's above the law.
The Daily Planet criticizing those who think they're above the law is a little hypocritical. What'd you say? Considering every time your hero saves a cat out of a tree, you read a puff piece editorial about an alien who could burn the whole place down.
Most of the world doesn't share your opinion, Mr. Wayne.
Maybe it's Gotham City and me. We just have a bad history with freaks dressed like clowns.
Boys, Bruce Wayne meets Clark Kent.
Here comes the hate. Mostly from the MCU fanboys. You like BBS? That's so stupid. You have no life. Remember that one scene with Martha? Yeah, sure. But anyways, if you love Batman and you love Superman, then this movie is definitely for you because it's the best of both worlds. This is another great example of how a studio can mess up a movie so badly. Because I'll admit, the theatrical cut of Batman v Superman did not make sense whatsoever, but the ultimate cut actually fills in the missing plot holes and all that. And it's almost 3 hours, 4 hours. I think it's 3.5 hours long, but it's definitely the watch. Like, they go into great detail in it, and they just set up this, and they set up the universe, the DCEU, and it's really awesome. Like, again, with the Man of Steel, this movie is what made me want to start a channel and start talking about DC, and really what got me to love DC movies. Mostly because, you know, I always loved Batman, but I was never a Superman fan. Again, like in Man of Steel, until Henry Cavill, so I was really pumped to see this movie. And again, the CGI in Batman v Superman is better than anything from the MCU. So yeah, now I'm going to read and respond to comments that I posted on Facebook on my page, DC Universe for Life, of what other people think of the DCEU. There's only one comment so far. That's alright. It's the beginning of this all. shenanigan bullshit. But if you want me to read your comment off to a lot of people, just comment on the post I make next time I post something about making videos on YouTube. Austin Robinson said, "For the people that hate can just go F laughing emoji themselves," which is really fuck themselves, and I hearted it. Which, yeah, it's true. This guy's awesome. He always likes my posts and all that on Facebook. Anyways, that is it for me. Deathbat signing out.